Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing well, and in this lesson we're going to learn about semantic elements. Now what does semantic elements means? Let's say for instance, before we used to use divs. Okay, now div is basically a division of content. Let's say you have content here. Let me just put an h2 tag, and we're just going to say this is content 1. And going to say this one is content 2 and this one is content 3. I'm just using this as an example. Now what we're going to say, but this one is going to be a class or a header. This one is going to be a class of something like nev, and this one is going to be a class of footer. Now this is how we would normally type it out. Now a div doesn't say what the content is unless we give it a class to kind of give us reference to what this div is actually for. So it doesn't give an explanation like divs, span, and then we add the things in there. It doesn't give descriptive description of the content in the element. But with semantic elements, we can actually give a description. Now let's say we put in a header. Now a header describes that this will be a header in our website. Then we have another description of a nav. Now the nav element is indicating that this will be a navigation bar. And then we have section. Then we have article. Then we have side. Then we have main. Now you might be wondering, what are all these useful for? But there's more. We're going to get into that now, just in a bit. We have a header, we got a nav, we have a section, we have an article, we have an aside. This is for site navigation, but I'm going to show you now a diagram, and this is main. Now let's quickly show you the diagram to kind of show you how it's kind of the layout of it. Let me just get the layout quickly. As you can see, what we have is got our header here, we got our navigation, we got our section, we got our article, we got our footer right at the bottom, then we got our aside right here. Now this is more like a site navigation. Now let's say for instance this is a blog. Now your header, your navigation can be inside your header as well. You can have a section with a header and a navigation. Then you have an article with you can have a header and a footer as well inside it. But all this does is actually describing the content of your website. Now the footer kind of explains what it is, the bottom part of your website. Normally you will put in here your copyright 2021, and that this is your aside menu in a blog where you can have your navigation bar as well, and you can have your recent post. So basically you can have like a section that you put in there. It's all describing the content that you use. Right. So let's go to the website to VS Code with a little bit more explanation and uses of it. Alright, I'm in VS Code. So let me just quickly style the header. Let's style the header, and let's give it just a background color of, let's say, light gray. on it's not light gray, it's a little bit darkish gray, but doesn't matter. Let's put our navigation in there. So we're saying that this is our header part and this is our footer part. And we're just going to say put in paragraph tag and say copyright 2021. And let's give the footer also a background color. Let's make it distinctive, different. So let's put it EEE, very light gray. So in our navigation, we're going to put a UL, means unordered list, like we learned in the previous episodes. And we're going to put a list item. Let's put just not too many, just 2. We're just going to say home. They're not going to link anywhere because we need anchor tag to link somewhere, but I'm not going to do that just for simplicity's sake. So it's a home, about, and contact. So let's open this quickly up in the browser and see what it looks like. So right click and we're going to say open with live server. Now as you can see, we obviously didn't add any styling to our header, our navigation and our ordered list, but as you can see, we got our dark gray header with our navigation bar inside, and then we have our footer with the copyright 2021 with the light gray background there. Now this is very useful for the browser. The browser knows that this is your header, this is important content, it knows this is your footer with your important content. Just to kind of give a descriptive, it's also for the browser to kind of understand your website. Where does it go to? Where doesn't it go to? But let's go back to VS Code. So we got our navigation bar and we got our footer in there. So now let's quickly add a section in there. As you can see, we're going to add a section. Now, a section can literally be whatever you decide you want to put in the section. Now, for us, we decided this section will be this section just underneath the header. As you can see, there's our header there, describing that this is the top part of our website with our navigation. And the nav is describing that this is a nav bar. Okay. In this section, let's say we want to make it our hero page. So let's put our H. And we're going to say this is our hero section. H1 tag. And then inside this, we're going to put just an A tag. Hash. And it's a button. Like a call to action button. So let's style the section. We're gonna style it and say give it a background color. It's just for differentiation. That's why I'm just styling it quickly. Let's say let's just use that. But normally I won't. Don't like to use the named ones. But I just turn it into, you can do that. But let's say, let's go back to Aquamarine. If you hover your mouse in VS Code over it, you can click the top part and change it to hex colors, hex colors, or you can turn it to HSL, or you can turn it to RGB, stands for red, green, and blue, and then you can obviously move it around here to change it to whatever you want. So even if you do, let's say you change it to that color, it will automatically change the values of the others as well. Quite a useful tool and a handy tool to have. Let's open it up quickly in VS Code, live server. Now, as you can see, this is our hero section. So this is a section just underneath our nav bar. So let's quickly add the article section. Now, you can also do this interchangeably. So let's say we have a section, we can say article, and then we can say p tag, and we can say, okay, this is our article, and we can have a header in our article, and we can have a footer in our article, and then we can have our content basically in our article like this. Let's say Lorem 50, just to kind of add some content in there. You can do that as well. But for simplicity's sake, we're just going to add our p tag and Lorem 50. So this is kind of, if you can think of it as an article that was written inside the section, or instead of doing it like this, you can have the article on its own, and then we can just do this as well. Yeah, or you can do it like this. But this is just very simple. No one will really write it, your whole article like this. You will have more paragraphs, headings, and all those kind of things. But you can divide the content up with the header tags, footer tags, H1s, all those kind of things to kind of put it in like that. But let's just see, let's give our article a different background color. What color must we give it? Let's choose that color. Let's hover over it again. Let's give it a bit of a goldy color. Save that, and let's open with the live server. Now, as you can see, we have our article right there. Just kind of divided it up. So Google will know that this is an article, very important article, or just a plain article or blog post that you have. Let me get the definition and just kind of read it out to you quickly. The article element specifies independent, self-contained content. An article should make sense on its own, and it should be possible to distribute it independently from the rest of the website. An example for an article use will be a forum post, a blog post, or a news article. So that's kind of the uses that you have them for. In a section element defines a section in a document. Web page could normally be split into sections: introduction, contact, and contact information. Just kind of divide up your content. All right. And let's quickly go back to VS Code. So let's say we have a section there for our hero page. Then we got our article. Then we can have another section of, but instead of a section, we can actually do this. We can actually say the main content goes in here. So you basically have like, let's say this is about us page. So then you will have H1 tag or H2 about us. This will be actually the most important one. I'll just put a normal paragraph in there. So H1 about us, and then you have your paragraph tags. You say just typing, this is the about us and the content of about us. And this is an article, but this is just kind of explanatory of what this can be used for. All right, but let me quickly type in all the elements that are semantic elements, just a whole list for you. Close this off, delete this, and I'll quickly start typing them, but I'm not just gonna speed it up so that you guys don't have to see me type all of it. All right, I've typed it out quickly. You have your header, your nav, your main, your footer, your section, your aside, and obviously the article. All right, but there are more. But for that, you can go and visit www.w3schools.com. They have a lot more detailed information than I can provide in this short video. So this is just kind of the, how can I put it? Just a quick guide of what semantic tags are. They're descriptive of the content that they contain. So in the header, you would know that it's the head of the content. Your navigation, the nav, indicate that it's obviously a nav bar. And then you have your main, which obviously contains your main content, your footer, normally your footer content, which describes, right? In your footer, you will normally have your authorship, your copyright, contact information, sitemap, back to top links, and other related documents. Normally you will put your social links in there as well, or Facebook, or whatever your social media your company uses, or your client's company uses. Okay. And your section is just to divide your content, like your introduction, different type of content, like I said, your introduction, your content, and. Then your site will be your site navigation, and your article will normally be for forum posts, blog posts, or news articles. All right, and that will be the end of this video. And in the next video, I think we'll be discussing, it will be quite a short video. It will be discussing entities like the copyright symbol and those kind of things. So we'll be doing that short video in the next one. So thanks for watching, guys, and please give it a like if you like the video. If you have any feedback, negative or positive or just constructive, please leave it in the comment section. I'll be reading that, so if in order to improve the channel and to improve these videos, yep, it will be kind of very helpful. And anyways, thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.